Warning: this video contains spoilers for DC Universe's Young Justice Outsiders. Viewer discretion is advised. DC Universe is out, and I've paid for a year of it. This is DC Discussion. Readers, episodes 7, 8, and 9 of Young Justice Outsiders is now available, and we have a few more answers to our questions. Some of those answers are cryptic as fuck, but they're still answers nonetheless. Which in itself is pretty ironic, considering that when those questions were answered, they just generated just a whole new list of questions. Which, given the fact that the next upload is going to have 4 episodes as opposed to the traditional 3, we might get a bit more of those answered as well. But until that happens, let's talk about episode 7. So I know it starts off as one, but trust me, this is not a beach episode. In actuality, Halo, Forager, and Brion are running training exercises with Dick, Connor, and Artemis so they can be a better team. The 2 metahumans get new costumes, Brion adapts the codename Geoforce, Halo reveals she can make holograms of herself by turning green, and they've proven to work pretty well together, real talk. I give it like 2 episodes before Brion loses it with his hot-headedness. Meanwhile, we get some backstory regarding Vandal Savage and we learn a few things about him. Or, if you're anything like me and know everything from the comics and the Justice League cartoon, see his backstory for the 1500th time. The thing about this, though, is that it's being done while he's fending off a third-party alien army from attacking Earth in a weapon called the War World. I say Third World because it's a race of aliens being controlled by those star meat fuckers that were in that Batman Beyond 2-parter that had me scared of starfish for like a good 5 years of my life. But it's through this portion of the episode that we learn that Savage's relationship with Darkseid isn't brand new. They've been fucking since that motherfucker was Genghis Khan. Also, Apocalypse's militia is super powerful, yet he's still using kidnapped metahumans? Like, that's the one thing I haven't been able to understand about this arc since the first episode. Why does Darkseid need metahumans? I mean, I guess they're useful depending on the abilities they can generate, but this episode clearly shows the power of the Darkseid. What are you talking about? Nobody's ever made that joke. Shut up. Like, seriously, you don't need nukes when you yourself are the fucking nuke. I'm sorry, readers. I'm just really looking forward to the payoff with this portion of the arc because right now I can't even with this. Other than that, this was a good episode with a nice balance of exposition and hero camaraderie. And more importantly, linear storytelling. Why did I have the need to mention that, you may ask? Let's talk about the next episode. This episode of Young Justice Outsiders contains Quentin Tarantino time jumps like a motherfucker. Viewer discretion is advised, bitch. Nevertheless, albeit from different sources, we get a lot of information about what happened with Batman & Co. in episode 1. That info being that Batman and the others that left the League did so in order to utilize the same divide and conquer strategy that the Light have been using since Jump Street in order to crack down on the metahuman trafficking, and that a good amount of heroes still in the League are in cahoots with this plan, though some still question his methods. Oh, also Tim Drake can speak in this episode, so that's a plus.
No hats. It's a condition of his parole.
Now we find this out through a significant number of events, such as Sportsmaster breaking Shade out of prison, Mad Hatter injecting Shade along with Mist and Livewire with new non-card-based mind control nanotechnology, so that they can steal what I assume is just a containment unit from Destiny's Prison of Elders. Then Dick and his team of outsiders stopping the majority of them from escaping with said unit, Halo finding out that turning blue shines a light that distributes blue flames, and Tigress confronting her sister Cheshire, finding out that the new location of the League of Shadows, and possibly Brion's sister, is in Santa Prisca. And given these Reservoir Dogs ass time jumps, considering that the end wraps up everything in a nice little bow, you can get pretty lost in what happens at what time if you're not careful. And that's not necessarily a critique per se, since I'm used to that form of storytelling. And in this episode, it's done in a way that can be understood well enough if it is somebody's first experience with it. Plus, in general, this is just a good episode. The way I acted at the beginning of this segment was more of a warning than a critique. If this is your first exposure to this type of storytelling and you want to properly understand it, then pay attention to this episode from beginning to the end. You'll enjoy yourself a lot more if you don't complain about things not making any sense up until the reveal of the actual sequence of events, plus you'll know how to handle these narratives in the future. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So this episode opens with Lobo and the bitch, and I immediately hate it. Oh, okay, that's a bit harsh. I don't hate this episode, I just hate Lobo's bitch ass. The reason why he's on Earth this time is because there's a bounty on Forager's head, and he decides to attack the Outsiders while they're on an impromptu training mission. Yet, despite Lobo shaving off time off of my lifespan by putting himself immediately in front of my eyes, I found this fight between him and the group very enjoyable despite its predictability. What do I mean by predictability? I'm talking about Brionne's anger and impatience getting the best of him once they have the knowledge of the League of Shadows location, Halo dying again, and my sweet smart bug boy shedding his exoskeleton and using it as a decoy to make Lobo think that he killed him so he can get the fuck out of this season, you dumbass outdated piece of fuck! Now this isn't me shitting on the actual diversion, nor is it me saying that predictability is bad. Anybody who knows me knows that me being able to predict how certain things go is actually a form of fun for me. And I'm just as entertained when I find out that I'm wrong. Especially when the bounty was just a red herring for Vandal Savage and the rest of the Light to confirm that it was Dick's team in Markovia that did the thing, and that Connor was actually with them. And that goes double for the second event in this episode, where the majority of the superheroes with kids and the partners of the superheroes with kids gather together at Barry and Iris's house to have a play date. Including Lois, who confirms that she and Clark had Jonathan in this universe and are now officially psyched for a Super Sons spin-off now that he and Damian are a thing here. Also, we kinda get confirmation that the VR headsets we've seen since episode 4 are probably gonna be a plot point. And that a reformed Granny Goodness is not only running the company that makes them, but is also working for the Light, no doubt as Darkseid's representative, which, let's just face it, everybody and they mama and them knew was going to fucking happen. Like, the moment that we saw Granny Goodness on Fox News acting like a normal human and shit, nobody really thought that she wasn't evil anymore. I'm absolutely certain that when it was revealed that she's a member of the Light, that nobody really considered that an actual reveal. They were probably like, yeah, of course she's there. Because she's Granny fucking Goodness. That's like seeing all the silhouettes of all the Disney villains after you leave Traverse Time for the first time in Kingdom Hearts 1. Like, of course all those fucks are gonna be involved. Who would you get, an original villain? Listen. Shut up. Anyway, readers, your homework assignment for the day. Write in the comment section below what you thought of episodes 7, 8, and 9 of Young Justice Outsiders if you've seen them. If you want to help support the channel, you can join my Patreon by clicking the card at the end of the video or in the link in the description down below, where you can also find a link to my merchandise store. Or if you prefer to give one-time payments, the links to my PayPal and my Ko-fi page will be in the description box as well. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and every other Friday. But until then, this is Readus 101. Class dismissed.